Okay, Psalm 2. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heaven shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Now, I want you to see just how much that corresponds with chapter 1. And just quickly, the chapters and the verses, that's not really important. It's important to kind of, in the context of finding your way through the Bible, it helps you in that sense, right? Tell somebody where to look, right? Rather than just say the page number, okay? It's just a way of dividing up the Bible to make it easier to understand, to make it easier to catalog, okay? Oh, but Francis Bacon got a hold of that and he changed a bunch of stuff in the Bible and they took books out. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Francis Bacon had the final look before the KJV got published, but he couldn't change anything in the wording, right? He didn't add anything to it. What he did was the chapters, the verses, right, where he found sections and they put their own little secret coded language in the background, right? As far as chapters and verses go, and as far as the imagery that they put in the Bible, right? There's that. But they didn't actually change any of the words, because God's words can't be changed, right? They can't be changed. If they were changed so much, then you would see that reflection in all of the newer versions. But what the newer versions do, they all change the word from what the King James says. And there's nothing that the King James says that would warrant changing the changes that you see in these new versions, right? If you want to read any other version, you go ahead. But if there's any versions that are manipulated by Masons and by Jews or Zionists, Kabbalists, then it's the new versions. I don't understand why that's hard for people to see. I mean, the biggest key to all that is the simple name of Lucifer not being present in any other Bible version but the King James Version. Okay? Not morning star, right? Not day star, but son of the morning. O Lucifer, how thou art falling, O son of the morning. Not S-U-N, but S-O-N. Okay? What's Jesus? Jesus is the bright and morning star, or the day star. Okay? Lucifer, who is a light bearer. What's a light bearer? He's bringing knowledge. He's bringing enlightenment. Well, Lucifer has brought enlightenment for millennia. Right? He's been coming and teaching civilizations, right? As well as other angels or demons, doctrines of devils, have been coming and teaching mankind how to do agriculture, how to build cities, right? How to use roots, how to conduct war, how to mine gold, so on and so forth, right? There's these angels who left their habitation, who left their first estate to come and mince with humans. Now, I'm not on the whole angels mating with humans thing, but angels are messengers. That's what they are. There are human angels, okay, that come in the form of humans, and there are angels that come in the form of angels, which in every case of the Bible almost kills the person that is witnessing it. Not because they physically try to kill them, but because the appearance of the angel in their body is so terrifying and so out of the pale of reality from what these people are used to seeing that it causes them to almost die. So, when we talk about angels and demons, right, we're talking about aliens. Sorry, I should say when we're talking about aliens, we're talking about angels and demons. And how the heck did I get so far off? Well, technically I'm not so far off, because one of those vain things that the heathen imagine is the idea of endless space with other beings from afar off that came to this earth, seeded this planet, and are now just observing us, right? Just observing us, the builders, right? The creators, the Galactic Federation, right? And they're just watching humanity, seeing us evolve, right? Seeing us develop and progress. And once we get to a certain tier, right? Because we called ourselves out of the primeval soup, right? We became hunter-gatherers, right? They say. Then we built cities, right? And all these great wonders and stuff. And there's been a lot of turmoil along the way, but now we're getting to a point where technology is pretty much turning us, or going to turn us, into gods, those who are in the technocracy. That's what the heathen are doing. That's the vanity that they're imagining. They're imagining that aliens are going to come to the planet, tell us that they are creators, that they seeded the planet, and now that we've reached this certain point of enlightenment, that they want to take us to the next level by giving us technologies. So that's a vain thing. That's a great deception. Okay? You know what another vanity of these heathen are? The vanity that when Christ returns in the clouds, the Antichrist and his armies, I'm sorry, I don't need to put my fingers in the camera, I mean, gross, disgusting fingers. The other vanity is that when Christ returns in the clouds with his saints, the Antichrist and his army are going to be gathered together in the valley of Megiddo for the Battle of Armageddon, where they actually think that they're going to fight the King of Kings when he returns. How vain is that? How much rage is that? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed. Against the Lord and his anointed. Who is his anointed? Jesus Christ is his anointed. Okay? From the foundation of the earth, the Lamb slain. Okay? And we are all sons of God, made sons of God by the blood of Jesus Christ. By destroying that veil that separated us from God, we heathen, we Gentiles who were afar off, are now made nigh unto God. We are now fellow citizens in the commonwealth of Israel. And these heathen, they're taking counsel against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. They think that if they get rid of us, right, that they can change history and change the future, right? and they can write their own future, and they can become what they've been deceived into believing they can be. He that sitteth in the, like that's the thing. What do you think God thinks of all this? He's laughing his head off. He thinks it's hilarious. So he's going to let them believe that thing. He's going to let them believe. He's going to put it in their mind to do so, right? And he's going to speak to them in his wrath, and he's going to vex them with his sore displeasure. He's going to gather them all at once, and he's going to take care of them all at once. At the same time, he's going to take care of his people all at once, because it's going to be a big show, and he wants everybody to see it. He needs everybody to say it. He's like, look, 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 look. Right? Everybody's going to see it. Ask me, and I shall give you the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession, right? We're going to have our own lot. We're going to be priests and kings in the new kingdom. Thou shalt break them with a rod and iron. Who? The nations. Those who have forgotten God, the ungodly, those who despise God, they'll be utterly destroyed. Those that have forgotten God, right? Those that have made their bed in vanity and vexed themselves in God's sore displeasure, they will be dashed to pieces like a potter's vessel. We want to be a vessel that God is using, okay, that has a purpose, that holds oil, right? We want to be a good vessel that can be used for practical things, practical applications. We don't want to be a vessel of destruction, something that gets pulled to the fire. Oh no, there's damage to that, it's not good, there's blemish in that, cast it out, dash it, start over. We don't want that. We want to be a vessel made unto good works. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. See, when our leaders, when our kings are instructed, when our judges are instructed, and serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling, then all the people rejoice, because when the wicked are in charge, right, the righteous hide themselves. When the righteous, okay, lead, then the land prospers. The land has reprieve, okay? So we've got to understand this. We've got to understand that us having a future depends solely on obedience to God. And when there's no obedience to God, then he brings in tyrants. He brings in the leadership that we have today, the worst kind of people that don't have the convictions to lead properly, to fear God, right? To fear God. Why? Fear him who can cast you into hell rather than him that can cast you into a prison cell, right? Prison cell is temporary. God can deliver you from that. No one's going to deliver you from hell. Once you get cast in there, you're not coming out unless to be judged. Girls! If you're cast into hell, you're not getting out unless to be brought out for the day of judgment. We don't want that. We don't want that. Serve the Lord with fear and trembling. Doesn't mean you got to be scared all the time, that you're terrified that the Lord's going to strike you down. If you're doing what is right, what is good, then what does one have to worry about, right? But when there is things that are sinful in our life, right, that gets brought to light, right? And if you are trying to hide that, it'll eventually be brought to light. You'll have to go to great lengths in order to hide those things that you're doing, right? You'll have to conspire together, right? You'll have to find other people that are also doing the same things and compromise them so that you can continue in your ways. No. Rather, know that God's watching. Fear him, tremble before him and serve him with all your heart. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and his wrath be kindled but a little. Right? Jesus Christ came as a child to this earth. Right? He was crucified as a sinless lamb. Okay? But it says, kiss the Son, lest he be angry. When Jesus Christ returns, he's not going to return in the same way that he first came. Before he came preaching a message, and he's going to return preaching that same message, but he's also going to have a sword with him. That sword that proceeds out of his mouth, a two-edged sword that cuts both to the heart and destroys. So, love God and love his commandments, love his laws, and do the things that he would have you do. Like, love the Lord your God with all your mind, your heart, and your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. And if we love our neighbors, then we need to tell them that God's wrath is coming. But if they fear and tremble before the Lord, and they kiss the Son, then he won't be angry with you. If you admit that God, through Jesus Christ, did the first work by dying for your sins on the cross, by breaking the partition between man and God, by allowing us access to the throne, by making us a part of the order of Melchizedek, right? It makes it so we all are part of the Commonwealth of Israel, all part of the Israel of God, right? There's no Jew or Gentile in the Israel of God. No, there are only those who believe in God, who desire God's laws and commandments, right? And desire God's ways to be their ways. And one day he's going to plant us beside a river, and he's going to make it so that his laws are written on our hearts and on our foreheads, and so that we not only seek him day and night, but we live for him day and night when this flesh is put to an end and we are truly born again, not only in spirit but in body also. So I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Hope everybody had a good New Year, and you get to spend time with your family, some friends. I really hope that this 2021, which I don't think is going to be any better, I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's going to get any better, but I hope people can start finding some peace and put their hope in Jesus Christ, the Lord of our salvation. Peter Branscombe out. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.